After arriving in Bristol, Pennsylvania, the next day we decided to go to New York City, and I went with my nephew, Mike Collins. This is a video of the New Jersey and New York skylines together. This is Michael, and this is a panorama of New Jersey and New York in the background. We took the ferry to Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty from the New Jersey side. These are pictures of the Central Railroad of New Jersey. It's a museum. Here's the outside and the inside. It's pretty neat. It's dedicated to the people who worked there. And another skyline of New York from the pier. On the place of the Twin Towers, World Trade Center, is the One World Trade Center. This is the ferry that we took, Miss Gateway. There's a view of the railroad station and the Empty Sky Memorial. And as we took the ferry out into the river, you can see a view of Statue of Liberty on the far right and Ellis Island in the middle there. Another view of the New York skyline with the helicopter darting across. Actually, there's a couple of them there.
Steamships docked in New York City's bustling port, and passengers were checked by immigration officials working hours of self-guided.
And here is Ellis Island as we approach.
At the desk on the main floor. An informative audio tour is included with your ticket and may be picked up when you arrive on each island. It includes a 30-minute Statue of Liberty audio tour and a 45-minute...
And why not another picture of the skyline of New Jersey and New York in the distance.
And on the main level of the museum, eating and drinking are permitted only in designated areas. For those traveling with groups of...
Here we are arriving at Ellis Island. This is the Great Hall inside the Immigration Center where immigrants lined up for inspection. There's Mike taking a picture of me, taking a picture of him. Me at one of the reception desks and the courtroom that decided whether a person could stay or not. And here are some of the criminals that got rejected. Old Glory and the New York skyline. And on the ferry, this big wave tried to wipe out New York. And the ferry to the Statue of Liberty.
Freedom and opportunity that awaited them in their new land. The steamers proceeded on into New York's harbor, and passengers got their first glimpses of the Manhattan skyline, including the Brooklyn Bridge, which spans the East River between Manhattan and Brooklyn.
That was Mike. This is Lady Liberty. She needs no introduction.
Offered by the National Park Service, including outdoor guided tours. Please stop by the Visitor Information Center for today's schedule.
She wouldn't hold still, so I had to grab her. And the obligatory pose at the front of the monument. This is the Empty Sky Memorial. It's an interesting concept. If you line it up with the skyline of New York, you can see where the towers were. I let this picture stay long, so if you want to read it, pause. Here's Mike, my nephew, in the middle. And here is a picture from inside to the skyline, some debris from the Twin Towers, and another picture looking at it from an angle. And this is where you match it up with the skyline. Next, Mike and I took the subway across to New York City to go to the One World Trade Center. Quite a subway station underneath the tower. This is a view of the One World Trade Center from outside, from various angles looking up. It's very impressive looking at it up close. There are two ponds, waterfalls, that fit the footprint of the World Trade Center buildings. And this is one of them. You can see from this Google Maps where we're standing and where the two reflecting pools are at, where the towers were. We took the subway back, jumped in the car, decided to drive over to Manhattan to take a look around. Take a deep breath.
Hello, New York.
For the next minute and a half, there's just driving through Manhattan until we get to Central Park.
Hey, free coffee. Let's go.
I thought the Amish were in Lancaster. I guess they're here too. No, I'm just kidding. This is a horse and buggy ride through Central Park. Trump Tower. I'm going to drive by it quickly and have a couple of pictures, but nothing spectacular. There's my water bottle. Quick, top left. Remember the movie The Day After Tomorrow, where a polar vortex causes ice age to come? Well, this is the library they hold up in. Let's not forget the fine men and women of the New York Fire Department. After an hour or so of traffic through Manhattan to get back out, we went through the tunnel and headed on back to Bristol. Not even going to try to hold my breath on this one. right, that concludes my New York City video. I'll leave you with this panorama of Jersey City and New York City in the distance. Happy trails.